Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a special girlie on the podcast today. My bestie, Melissa Kucha.
Hello.
Hey Mel.
Wait, I'm looking there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look, yeah.
You
If you
look
want to talk directly to people, you can look there, but like it's fine.
Okay.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So I don't know if Mel's a fan of the podcast or watches it a lot, but we're going to start with weekly updates.
Well, how about we start with like your
who you are.
relationship with Mel?
Sure.
Like, who is she?
So Mel has been my friend for, this is so weird because I'm like not, I don't know why, whenever I talk about friendships, especially with you, I like cringe.
Yeah.
Why?
We don't even hug. We don't hug.
It's just, I'm not an affectionate person when it comes to my friends. And like, me and Mel have never had that relationship, but we've been friends for like so freaking long.
That's like me. Today, Cass, shout out to Cass because I know she listens to this. She was like, I love you. I was like, I was like, Illy. I'm like,
I'll say love you, but like we've never really hugged. We've never
love
really
you though,
like,
Cass. Sorry.
I don't know. Anyways, I'll get into it. But anyways, me and Mel have been friends since grade 8, I guess. Grade 8. And I remember the first time we became friends is because
I feel like it was before that.
No. Maybe grade 7. Like I knew her.
Soccer. It was soccer.
So this is what happened. So my soccer team used to train at this, I think it was York University, like the track at York University.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was some indoor track place.
Not where I went though.
No. I'm telling the story of how.
Okay. Go.
So a men's or a boys team also used to train. You know where I'm going with this?
No idea.
A boys team also used to train there, and I remember one of my friends was on the guys team, and as we were walking out of the training facility, my clip fell on the floor, and this guy picks up the clip. Do you remember this?
No.
This guy picks up the clip and goes, "This is your clip," and I'm like, "Oh my god, he's kind of cute." I was in like grade 7, 8, and then I get a message from this girl named Melissa Kucha on Facebook saying, "So and so is my boyfriend."
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember this happening.
You don't? Okay. So Mel messaged me on Facebook saying, just so I want to let you know, like, so-and-so told me about, like, you dropping your clip and him picking it up and, like, you saying he was cute. Like, that's actually my boyfriend. And I was like, oh, like, girl, I don't want, like, I not, like, mean anything by it, whatever. And we're actually, like, it wasn't catty or anything, but that's the first time we, like, spoke. And then Mel joined my soccer team.
This was grade 7 then, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's how it...
Yeah, I feel like I've known Mel ever, like, I feel like we've known you, like, I've known her, too, for a long time. Like, most of your other friends, I don't, like, know. Like, I don't really have
Mel's like Mel and Izzy, my longest friends.
I feel like Mel and Izzy are the two people that, like, even I, as your sister, can, like, conversate with. And it's not like, oh, hey, like, awkward, like, don't know you know? So, anyways, that's how
we know each other. But anyways, going back to, like, what I was saying, I feel like I'm not affectionate with my friends, like, with anybody. And some certain friends will, like, try to hug me and, like, make me affectionate. But it's just, like...
Oh, even Friday when we went bowling, like
I
had to hug you, and it was the weirdest shit ever.
Like I was just like, hi.
Yeah, that's like me.
And people probably like Francie was like, what the fuck?
But
like,
even me and you don't do that.
I'm just not an affectionate person. I hate when people try to make me into that. Like, I show my love to my friends in different ways rather than being like, love you or like hugging, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's how we know each other though. Okay, weekly updates. Do you have any?
Not really, no.
Do you?
Yeah, I want to dye my hair cherry coke red.
So fucking
and
annoying.
Fran claims that she's wanted to do this for how... Shut up. Can I?
Mel?
Okay, also, I want to say, editing clips for the Instagram on last time's podcast, I was fuming because every other word I said, you interrupted me. Like, actually. Like,
it just boils my blood when you say that Fran claims, like I didn't claim, like I've been saying for maybe since the pandemic I want to dye my hair cherry coke red, and Mel's doing that face because she knows that I've been literally texting her.
Yeah, but that's because before that, I've always said that I want to dye my hair cherry red.
And before that, I've always said that. That's why you say it. Anyways.
We all know that that's not true because she copies. Ever since we were little, like every time I do, whose hair is black?
Are you freaking kidding me?
Right. I dye my hair
staple
black.
hair has been black.
Because
I like black. When have you ever had cherry coke hair?
I haven't yet because
I saw that I started saving things on TikTok and I scroll and there's more cherry coke red things that I haven't saved. So I'm like, who's saving these? And it's you because you saw that I was saving cherry coke red hair.
I didn't see that you were saving it. I came across my feed.
Anyways, okay, we're fighting over freaking hair, but
okay. Anyways,
we're both gonna have cherry coke hair, I guess.
Thank you for finishing my thought. Okay. Anyways, that's my weekly update. How about you?
Same. I have a consultation on April 30th to go do
what?
Consultation.
Okay, have fun doing that.
Thanks.
So annoying. Like now I'm not going to be able to do it.
Why? Why can't we both have cherry coke hair?
Please, Fran. figure
No,
out
I was
before.
gonna say you got. I'm used. Fran said since you moved out, you guys aren't fighting as much anymore. But this is funny.
We actually haven't.
This isn't
been.
really fighting though. This is
No,
just,
This is like bickering.
I
But
know.
this is like no, but I know what you mean.
No,
you mean
yeah.
like
But do you remember we went through that phase where I was like,
You hated each other. Yeah.
yeah.
That was fun.
honestly, Mel probably low-key thinks I'm such a bitch because of what Fran tells her from her side. But
No, but
just
I
know,
don't- I
Mel,
don't
that
know.
you haven't heard my side to everything.
I don't always believe that Fran's rational though.
Oh.
Like, let's be.
No, Mel puts me in my place when I need to
So-
be put in my place. That's why, like, that's a true friend. Like, she'll be like, hey, you're wrong. But then she'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
you're right. So just depends on the situation.
Alrighty.
Okay. So another weekly update of mine. I went into office yesterday and we're in a huge marketing meeting, like a monthly marketing meeting with like the VP, everybody that was there, the director. And during the meeting, someone had to stop the meeting and was like, who has a black Chevy Cruze with the license plate number ending, and everyone just like was staring around. I'm like, oh, that's me. Like you parked in a customer docking station. You're about to get towed. Like you're being threatened to get towed. And I was so fucking embarrassed. I was like,
Why would you park in a?
I was late that morning. I was late like to go
So
to
you
work.
parked where you couldn't park.
I just parked anywhere to get
you can
in.
just message them and be like, listen, I am finding
And there was a
parking.
huge note on my car saying like, you
I
cannot
saw
park
that,
here,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that was basically my weekly update. Nothing else.
I want to talk about something that a presentation that I was in today that I watched, and I don't know who he was because I missed the intro, but it was this guy, and I think he's the owner of Compass. I don't know what hold on, let me like actually look it up real quick, because Compass Company. I want to know who this guy is.
Where was the presentation?
Compass Group. It was like an online meeting,
Online,
and they were
yeah.
just showing us this to just like prove a point or whatever. Okay, I don't know. Never mind. Anyways, I don't know what it is. But anyways, he was basically just like giving a motivational speech and blah, blah, blah. And he said something that like I found kind of resonated with like what we talk about a lot. And it was that a lot of people, and this is why like I just want to like reiterate, like this is why we want to have this podcast platform and invite people like Mel who's grown up like similar to us, but also different, or like other successful people
Yeah.
that end up in certain situations and talk about like how they got to where they are. You know what I mean? Because this guy was saying that like social media is so good nowadays because it can connect you to whoever, wherever,
Yes.
whenever.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's also like a deterrence for people who want to get to certain goals. So if me and Fran want to be like big podcasters one day, like social media can also be a deterrence because we're looking at people who are already there, but you don't see how they got from A to B. And this guy was like, you can't let that deter you from keeping on going. Because I know sometimes we get down on ourselves. Like Fran will message me and be like, we lost a follower. Like we're posting every day. Or I'll message her and I'll be like, I'm so cheesed that like this fucking video isn't getting this many views. And it's like, why? And it's because social media puts this perception in your head. Like you don't know how people got from A to B. So I don't know. I just thought that was a really good point that this guy made.
Yeah.
I wanted to share.
And like it can change overnight, right? Like
Yeah.
literally it doesn't have to be doing things and like waiting for a certain time for things to happen. Like things
Yeah.
happen overnight. You could like literally skyrocket tomorrow morning and you wouldn't know why, you wouldn't know how. Like
Exactly.
it just happens.
I just like, I don't know. I just sometimes wish that people who were super successful were more transparent on like the highs and lows of how they got there.
Some people
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Some people are. But and this guy also said that like, because something we talked about a couple episodes back was like, we had this question of should you succeed in silence or not? I think when Francie and Roman were on here,
Yeah.
we were all kind of like, yeah, like you should like work on yourself in silence and then like show your success. But this guy said, and let me know if you guys agree, that you should tell people what your biggest dreams are because then you're kind of holding yourself accountable because other people know. So this guy wanted to run 50 marathons in a year. That's a lot of fucking marathons. And he's like, I was literally wanting to stop so bad after 5. And if I hadn't declared to other people that
Yeah.
that I'm going to
like
run
that.
50 marathons, I wouldn't have done it. So he's like, if your dream is to be I don't know, do X, Y, and Z, tell people, yeah, my dream is to do X, Y, Z. If we want to get on the fucking Amazing Race, we're going to tell people we're getting on the Amazing Race and we got to do it. Otherwise, we look stupid for not doing it. You know, so it's like
Like hold you accountable.
I
What do you
think it
think?
depends though on the person because some people will say like people will talk and say like whatever they want and you know they don't really care about bothering other people or like basically being untrue to themselves. Like they'll just kind of back it up and just forget about it. But like with you guys, like for some example, like you're talking about you want to do this and you manifest it into the universe, right? Like if you are holding yourself and you feel like you're holding yourself accountable, you're going to follow through with that. Like it's going to happen for you. But some people Like, I mean, it depends. Like, I say I'm going to work out every day and I tell people I'm going to work out every day. It doesn't actually happen. I think it depends on your personality and
That's very true.
Where you are in your life at that point, right?
Or how much you care about that thing that you say.
That's actually so true.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
true.
say things like, for example, like can you pass me that water? I have like late night thoughts about like getting my shit together, like doing like things in my life that like I want to do. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the LSAT and actually and change my career and like study to be a lawyer. And I told people that. I'm pretty sure I told Mel, I told someone from Humber, like, I'm going to do my LSAT. Did I ever do it? No. It's like, do I actually really want to do that? Or am I doing it for a different reason to look good or to like, you know what I mean? Just do it to fucking do it. I didn't actually want to do that. So.
Or like even I said to you a couple months ago, I'm going to use my professional camera and do photography.
Oh yeah.
I said I want to be like a side gig photographer. You think I've done anything to do with that?
But do you actually?
I do. But like also you think about timelines. Like then I broke my elbow the next week. Like you know what I mean?
Like not everything happens like when you want it to happen.
That's actually really cool, to be honest. And you know what? Someone told me the other day is a thing is having an accountability partner. Like it could be
That's
like
true.
I don't know. I find that it doesn't work as well when it's like your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Like,
No.
if I asked Roman to be my accountability partner, like he would hold me accountable. But if I didn't do it, he would be like, "Oh, don't worry, it's fine."
Yeah.
Like you need somebody like a friend that you know is stern. Like maybe it would be Fran, maybe not. And you're like, I am starting photography next week. If I don't do it, like make me or like something, you know. And I've always wanted to try that. Like I wonder.
I had Izzy as an accountability. Like we went to the gym together a few years ago. We would go every freaking night. Like that was the best shape I've ever been in my life. And if I didn't want to go, she'd be like, get your out. Like we're going. Like I don't give a shit.
That's good, especially with working out. Because I'll say to Will, you know, like I need to go to the gym. I want to look good for this event or whatever. Like I need you to hold me accountable. Like you have to tell me when I say I don't want to go, like you got to tell me you have to go. You told me to tell you to go. And then it just never happens.
You're like, oh, we should watch a movie. He's
I'm
like,
let's just order in and like
or like we're not gonna eat pizza for a while. We're gonna eat so healthy. Chicken nuggets and fries
That's
for
the
dinner.
worst.
Like,
Me and Roman,
so
like
bad.
tonight when Fran was over, I was like, we're not like spending that much money on Uber Eats and shit. We have a lot of stuff coming up. He's like, yeah, but it's Friday. I was like, okay.
Exactly.
And you're like, fuck.
No, or like I'll be like, I'll be like, Francie, I'm done like eating like shit this week. And he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna order like lemonade and chicken nuggets from Wendy's. I'm like, okay, get me like fries. And, like once they say it, like, so it's hard like when it's your boyfriend or girlfriend. So you said that you wanted to like look good for the event. So Mel's engaged and she's getting married in August. So like very soon. And when I first heard that, again, I'm not an emotional person, but I actually cried like on FaceTime.
I FaceTime you and Francie was asleep and I like showed my ring.
And I'm like, wake up. I'm like, Will? I'm like, Will. Well, yeah, I am Will. I'm like, Mel, Will are like engaged. And I was like crying. And I was like, why am I crying? But it's actually like, because it's actually like a significant moment. Like when other people got engaged that are like our age and maybe like younger, I was just kind of like, oh, cool. But like when it's someone close to you, it's weird to think that like I've known you for so long and now you're like fully engaged and like getting married.
That's
and I'm
crazy.
like in the bridal party and I'm actually giving a speech. So excited about that.
Yeah. You started it?
No, there's no way she started it.
I'll just wing it.
You're gonna wing it?
I can literally wing.
See, no, you say you're gonna wing it. There's no way you're getting up in front of guests. And
Fran, you're not winging it. I don't think Mel wants you to wing it.
No, but like you'd be nervous. You'd like literally
I don't think
stutter.
I'd be nervous. I like know everybody who's gonna be there.
You know everybody.
I've met like
Fran,
most
have you met
people.
her fiance's whole side of their family?
No. But like Matt, Will, oh my God, Will said something so cute to me at bowling. He was like, we went bowling like a double date. And
Will is her fiance.
Yeah, sorry. And Will was like, I can't think of anyone better to give a speech than you. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. Shout out to Will. What was I gonna say? Oh, I can't wait to see your grandparents too.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cute. My grandpa's walking me down the aisle.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So no, I'm excited and I'm doing a lot of planning. So it's just a lot right now. But it's coming up in August and I just ordered my dress. So yeah. But it's crazy because you don't realize how much you have to do. And then it starts like, I mean, I literally got engaged in December and I was like, I have so much time till August. Like, we're going to do it in August. And now I'm like 4 months out and I'm like, this is.
It's been 4 months already. Take that in.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like just
pretty
yesterday.
much 4 months. Yeah. No, I know.
And that's pretty, I guess it's not quick.
It is quick. You know, most people.
I don't know. Yeah. Like, I guess you have no clue until you're actually like engaged and planning a wedding.
See, usually it's 12 months to like 18 months, depending on the time of year. So like it would have been a year if I got engaged in the summer, but I knew I wanted to get married in the summer because where we're doing it is in like outdoors.
Yeah.
And what's it called? We got engaged in December, and then I was like, prices just raise every year for everything, catering, flowers.
So you didn't want to wait till the end of like the
next year, waiting and like trying to do like plan everything like that far in advance. It's like we're already doing a pretty like small wedding, so like to hold it off for like an extra so instead of 6 months it would be a year and a half, right?
Yeah, because you wait till the next
exactly.
summer. Yeah.
So it kind of, it is a little fast, but it's all right. It's going well, planning and stuff, but it's just coming up really fast and so many things to do in so little time.
So when I have 3 things to this, because I have so many, not questions, but I guess like things run through my head because I can't picture myself getting married now. 1, I'm just like not there. 2, I'm not there with myself. Like, and I'm just not there. Like, whatever. Eventually, I obviously want to, but I feel like you've always been like the mom. Like, I've always called you the mom. Everyone in like high school kind of like knows you as like just somebody who's always been emotionally mature.
Emotionally immature?
Emotionally mature.
Yeah.
And like just always kind of taking care of people.
Yeah, and you seem like wise beyond your years too.
Yeah, I guess like my mom to this day like says you're such an old soul.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do with your experiences, right? Like obviously growing up, how you were raised and like what things happened to you growing up and stuff like that. But
I have 3 things I want to touch upon. 1, so how do you feel when people say to you that like you're too young to be doing that, or like you have your whole life ahead of you, like why you want to get married so young? Because when I've told people that like we've known, or like just people like, oh, my best friend's getting married, how old? 23, but 24. You're 24 now. 24. Oh my God, so like why so young? Like she has her whole life ahead of her. And like,
what does that mean?
So when people used to say that to people that like I didn't really know, I would brush it off because to you, it's like, why the fuck do you care? Like, who cares if she's 24 and getting married? Like, Will's also 28.
He's 29 this year.
Okay,
yeah.
Like,
but that doesn't. I don't really think that matters. Like, before you answer, I just think that when people say you have your whole life ahead of you, when it comes to like doing something like prematurely, it's like, but this is part of that life that's ahead of her.
Also,
like,
why did you do your life ahead of you with a partner, like while being engaged? Like, why does that stop you from doing that?
See, like, I don't get when people say that because, like, nothing, when you become married, in my mind, nothing really changes. You're just basically both committing to each other. You're throwing a big party and you're living your life. Because Will and I have been together for 5 years. Our relationship's not going to change once we were married. We live together. We do our own chores. We like save together. We buy everything together. You know what I mean? Like nothing is going to change once we are married legally. Yeah. And same for you. Like you and Roman have been together for how long?
Like 9 years.
Exactly. Like you're technically, like if you live together longer, you are already married. Once you live with someone for 3 years, you're common law married. Yeah. But in terms of like the age and like people saying I'm too young, I've done everything. I've lived my life, and I am someone, I don't go out and party. I don't go clubbing. I never really went clubbing except for I went more clubbing when I was 17 and I didn't go when I was legal. Yeah. So like, and like even being type 1 diabetic, like I can't do things like that. I can't go binge drinking all night. And that's kind of, not everyone, but that's the kind of lifestyle that a lot of people my age are living right now. Yeah. Going out a ton, and good for them. Like I have nothing against that, but I've always been a homebody. I've always preferred to be at home. I've always preferred to stay in. Like I save my money. I like to watch Netflix. Like I really what is stopping me from getting married? Yeah. Like really, if I know I'm going to be with this person forever, why does it matter if it's now or in 10 years?
Yeah. And I think it's also like we always talk about this, like people want you to live like a certain way. Like you have to do this, and that. And by 23, you should be like focusing on your career or going out and having experiences. But like, I don't think having a partner should change that. And if you were to ask me this maybe like 2 years ago, I'd be like, holy shit, like 24 is young. But like, I feel like I've matured in the sense where it's like my morals have changed, and like what I think about life has changed. Like not everyone has the same life path. So no, you don't, even with you, like people say like you're moved in together and you're not married yet.
I was just going to say, okay, so for me, it's almost like opposite. I'm not that much older. I'm 27 this year, but like I'm 26. Yeah. And like everyone, because me and Rome have been together for a while, everyone's like, so like you're next or this. And I'm just like, And everyone always asks, I used to like actually get cheese. Now I'm just like, I get it. Like why you're asking, like, okay. But like, I don't know, like Fran just said, everyone's on their own timeline. Like I think it's weird to ask people that because it's so like, weird. You don't know how I feel. You don't know what's going on in other areas of my life that I may not want to, whatever. And I'm not saying I don't want to.
No.
We're obviously both like there with each other. It's just like a matter of like time and like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
What if I didn't want to get married with Roman? Like, what if your Roman said, you know what, we don't want to get married. We just want to live together and just not get married.
That'd be fine too.
I know, but
someone else
saying that and bringing, like, making you possibly feel like,
bad about it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so stupid because it's like, you're going to get engaged when you want to get engaged. Why does it have to be at a certain time? Why does it have to follow a timeline? Like, nothing's going to, like, basically, it's just, you guys have already committed yourselves to each other. Like, what? Like, when Roman proposes eventually, like, what? Is that him finally saying, I'm going to be with you forever? Like, no, you guys have already decided that.
And exactly. And the thing is, I would want him to do it, like, I mean, I don't really know what he's thinking, but I mean, like, I would want him to do it without having to feel like
the pressure.
And I don't think he does, but like he's told me he doesn't. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't want him to feel like, okay, like everyone's fucking asking, might as well. Yeah, it's like, just do it when you genuinely feel like I'll be here. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
It's fine. And of course it's hard. Like once all your friends start getting married, you're like, fuck, like maybe, I don't know. But I've recently been thinking a lot about, sorry, I'm like stuffy, so I sound very nasally. Sorry about that. I've recently been thinking about how, like, age is so weird. Like, I used to literally think, like, by 25, I need to be married, like, have a kid, make this much money, do this, do that. I am nowhere where I thought I would be, like, at 26. Like, and it's just different. And, like, Fran said, everyone is living such a different life path, and it's based on the experiences, like you said, and things that you go through. Like, we've been through shit, or I've been through different shit than you, and maybe we've been through the same shit together. It's, like, so different, and that really shapes how you live your life. And age, like, to me, like, is just a number at this point. I know that's so cliche to say, but, like, being like, oh, you need to have kids before you're 30 is, like, so unrealistic now. Yeah. And it's, like, do it if you want to, but if you don't, like, it's not... I don't know, and I'm tired of limiting what I can and will and won't do based on age.
Exactly, and like based on like what the standards for what someone your age should be doing at that point in life. Like it makes no sense to be saying like, oh, well, when I was that age, I was making this much money, or when I was that age, I was engaged. Like you hear parents talk about that, not necessarily parents, but people in your environment. Like, why does it matter if you were making $100K at my age? Yeah. Why does it like the economy's different? I'm different. Like everything is different. Like you're going to make the money. You're going to be with who you want to be. You don't have to be at a certain point like to be successful in your life.
The world's so different now too. Like we talked about this too before. We can't be expected to live by the standards that were set like years ago, generations ago. Like it's just not like that anymore. And that's what we're saying about like, people saying, oh, like, you're so young. It's like, based on what? Yeah. Based on the other 24-year-olds that are mostly going out right now,
like my grandma got engaged at 19. Yeah. So really, am I that young?
My grandpa at 17 got married.
You know what's weird? You know what's weird? People in, like, Australia, especially, and, like, even, like, some parts of the States, they all get married at, like, 20, 21. Yeah. And it's like, you know, like, I don't know, maybe it's just, like, around where we are. That people think
I don't know.
Like,
maybe it's like westernized culture. I don't know. But like I feel like it used to be a lot younger. And then it wasn't a problem when my grandparents were getting engaged at 19. But now it's a problem for me to get engaged at 24.
So I think people just have like things to say about everybody all the
time. Okay, but do you feel that? Like, do you ever like, I know she's saying people have said it to her when she said my friend's engaged. But do you feel that from anyone at all or not really?
Like I've heard whisperings of it. Like I mean... We talked about this in the car about someone who said that. And I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, why does it matter? Why is there judgment on that? Like, I actually feel like I'm not going to mature any more than at the point that I'm at. Maybe I'll become wiser. Yeah. But I feel like I won't mature anymore. So it's not like, I mean, I know your cerebral cortex doesn't develop until you're 25, whatever. If I mature, that's fine. You got one more year to go. Yeah, like,
you're always growing and working on yourself. Yeah. But I know what you mean. Like, if you feel like you're ready to do it. Like, why wait on something? I also just feel like it's because, like, we come from a town that everyone knows each other. And, like, they know you as, like, somebody who they went to high school with or someone they played soccer with or someone. So it's weird maybe hearing, like, oh, like, she's getting engaged, she's getting married, with someone really, really close to you. But
you know, and honestly, to be like not that it matters to anyone. I want my grandparents there when I get married.
Oh, yeah, me
my
too.
grandpa's the one walking me down the aisle. Like, if you want me to wait to meet people's standards in 15 years, I'll be walking myself down the aisle.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
That's
really.
so true.
Like,
I've always said I want to know their at my
like,
wedding
screw
too.
everyone that has an opinion. Like, honestly, like, because why does it matter? Why? Like, it doesn't matter.
Going into that, when me and Mel, like, I've like helped you, I guess, with some planning. We talked about it for like a little bit. And I'm a type of person who's like a people pleaser. So like I was thinking, like when I was talking to Mel, I was thinking about like who would I invite to my wedding or whatever.
I cannot think about that because I'm just like, oh no, you're in a fight with that
and,
person.
Like Mel's the
invite
type
that
of person who actually, I honestly doesn't give a fuck, but like you're just very like, I want to do it like how I want to do it. Like I don't really care what other people kind of think.
which is refreshing.
Good, which is really good
you
because
know,
like I'm the type of person who's like, well, I spoke to her 3 years ago at a coffee shop, so I have to invite her and I have to invite her. So like, I guess I want to ask, but like your viewpoint on like, do you feel like you need to invite every single person that you've known in your whole entire life to your wedding?
No, not at all. And it's funny because like even people I talk to today aren't getting invited because I have a limit and I want the closest people there to me at my wedding.
Yeah.
So if I have to cut some people off to just miss one night of dinner, like who cares? Like if you're going to be in my life after that, you'll be there. You'll be there after the wedding. Like realistically, I'm not going to invite someone who the last time I talked to was their birthday a year ago when I said happy birthday.
Yeah.
Like it's people who are in my everyday life who I talk to on a daily basis. Like that's who I want at my wedding. And I'm not going to feel bad for people who are offended. It's my wedding. It's not your wedding.
My mom always told me that when you're planning your wedding, that's when you'll start to really wean off a good chunk of people because you'll realize people who are selfish and they're only there because they want to look like they're there. You'll realize the people who make everything about themselves.
Yes.
And then you'll realize the people that like you thought you were close to and you aren't really close to anymore. And I'm like, I wonder what that's going to be like for me because
It's true.
It's fun.
Like 3 years ago, I always like to play a game where like I pick out who's in my bridal party. I don't know why. And every year it kind of like changes. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about this year and I'm like, wait, well, like one last person.
It goes
or one
down
more.
every year.
It could go up. It could maybe go up. But it's just
I don't
like,
think it's going to go up for me at this point in my life.
me and Mel always joke we have like two friends. Like, yeah, we have like two friends.
Yeah, but I honestly feel like I could
that way.
make more friends at this point. Like I just started a new job recently and like I have a friend that I work with that I like love now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and even one of the girls in my bridal party, one of my best friends, I only met her 2 years ago.
That's true. You know, like at my job too, I met this girl and we talk even after like I'm not at that job anymore.
Yeah.
We talk all the time and I'm like, I really like you. Like it's weird. I didn't think that like I would like make friends like this at this point, but like you just find those people who you vibe with at a certain level. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think I'd find someone that, like, I'd add to my wedding party at this point, like, right now.
Me neither. But I feel like it's different making friends when you're older. You don't have to know that person for as long. It's like if you have the same, again, morals, values, and you vibe, like, you just vibe. Like, I went to Humber College and made, like, a group of girlfriends of, like, 5. And, like, we don't see each other often, but every time we see each other, it's, like, it's a good time. I feel like I've known them for so long. But it's, like, I've known you for, like, 4 months.
It's the vibes. I can, like, I know this is off topic, but, like, even recently at a certain place of work, too, I felt I don't want to say bad vibes because they're not bad vibes. How do I say this without making it like, I don't know. You know that vibe you get from people where you're just like, you feel like you need to be fake, but not like a fake bitch, but just like you need to like change yourself, overdo it.
Like overdo it. I know exactly.
Oh my
what
God,
you
you're
mean.
just like, I'm such a fucking loser. Like I am such a loser. And then like, you realize that you're actually really nerdy. Okay, I know this sounds weird, but do you ever like have that feeling where you're like, I'm actually like such a nerd and I can't try and be cool. And like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I always get those vibes. Like, and I don't know.
Like, I don't want like to sound pick me, choose me. That's why like I think like you're kind of like.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not trying to sound
I know
like
what you
pick me,
mean.
choose me.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Without having to like really say it.
I can't. I don't know how to say it in a way without like describing somebody else. And I don't want to do that.
I know. Same.
Maybe I'll do it later after the podcast. But I know what you mean. I've found that like I'm actually very introverted. Like I'm very like. I'm only comfortable with the people I'm comfortable with.
But it's actually funny because you've said things recently. Like I've actually come to realize I'm introverted. I feel like you've always been introverted.
Okay, exactly. Because you know me. Like you know the true stuff.
Yeah.
Me when I like. maybe like a few years ago, I think I tried to be like this extroverted, like party, woohoo, I love it. But like, I don't like that. Like, and that's where I feel like my growth has come from, where it's like, I actually have a line now to like, I love going out still, don't get me wrong. I love like going for dinner, but I don't like staying out till 4 o'clock in the morning for dinner or for a birthday party. I don't like staying out to 3:30. Like I want to go home when I want to go home. And like, I used to feel like I had to stay out till 4 to have a good time somewhere.
I used to do shit where it would be like 1 a.m. and I'm so exhausted. And I'm just like, I want to go home. And I used to force myself. And I was like not trying to be cool. I don't know how to explain it. Just like trying to overexert myself to fit into this certain, like you said, act your age sort of thing. Yeah. And now, like, I remember a couple weeks ago, I went to a dinner and I wasn't even trying to be a bitch, but there was like a lot of people I didn't know. And I'm not trying to be bitchy. I just like I was introverted. I didn't feel the want to like conversate. I was just kind of like, hi, I'm Sam, whatever, like ate my food, did my thing and left. And I was like, if this was me before, I would have never done that. I would have like tried to stay, take shots and like, you know, and
do you know why? I felt like I was like a better friend if I stayed longer almost. To like, if it was birthdays or like events of somebody else, it's like, oh, I stayed longer because I'm like your friend. I want to be there for you. But like your friend should understand, like if it's like for example, I remember one time you came to my birthday in the backyard. You're like, hey, I'm going to leave at 9:30, 10. I'm like, thank you for coming. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for coming and showing up for me. Yeah. Bye. Have a good night. Like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm not going to hold a grudge against. And this goes into my other, I guess, our other thing we want to talk about is like how we live different lives and like different lifestyles. Like me and Mel have been best friends since grade 8, but we've went through like a lot of different paths that like don't align together. Like, me in high school was a lot different than Mel. I think at one point we were like the same. Yeah. Maybe a grade 10. And then like Mel didn't go to STL in grade 12, which was a huge.
You didn't?
No.
Which like shook me. Like,
oh, yes, you did. Yeah. Oh, yes.
And that was something that really made me like.
You went to Bill Crothers, right?
No, St. Max.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. And that was something, that was one point where I'm like, are me and Mel not going to be friends anymore? Like, we're not at the same school. When am I going to see her?
You're stuck with me.
She lives in Stouffville. No, that was like a good hump to get over, like to know that like we're going to be friends for a while. But like at that point in grade 12, like whatever, I was entering university. I wanted to go out more. Like I had new friends, blah, 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 whatever. And like Mel, I don't want to speak for you, but you've always been the type of person, I think, after grade 10 where you're just like, A, I'm not going here. I don't want to go. B, I'm going to come or leave early. Or C, like, I just don't want to do that. Like, whatever. I just don't want to do that kind of thing. And I feel like a lot of people got offended by that. Oh,
yeah. I think a lot of people did. I mean, not to make myself sound like everyone cared what I did, but I think like, I think just going out in general, like I remember one time we were getting ready to go out somewhere and I started having like a panic attack. And I was like, you know what? No, guys, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go back home. We were getting ready at someone's house. And
I think it was my party. We were at a hotel.
No, that's a different scenario I'm talking about. This was like in grade 10. And like we were getting ready to go to a party. We were at, I don't know, like, do I say names or?
We could cut it out.
Yeah, we were getting ready and we were like getting ready to go to, I think like party.
Okay.
And I was like, no, like I'm just getting really bad anxiety. I'm just not going to go. And like everyone was like, why? Like we're going, you did your makeup already. And I was like, well, I don't feel good. Like I'm not nauseous, but like, I just don't want to go. And it was like such a big deal back then. Yeah. But I think like I think grade 10 was when I stopped kind of going out. I stopped like, and I think for 2 reasons. I wasn't enjoying it as much as everyone else was. And I didn't feel the need to like please people and go places and talk to people I didn't necessarily like just to make convo, just to make small talk and like make an appearance. But it's also like once you're in like grade 10 and you're going to parties or like, that's when Sweet 16s happened.
Oh right? My God, yeah.
And I remember not going to a bunch of Sweet 16s because, you know, like I grew up with a single mom and I wasn't getting money to give gifts for birthday gifts. I was working, and if I wanted to go out and do anything, it was on my own money. And I wasn't necessarily the best at saving either. But if I wanted to go to a Sweet 16, that's $50, $100 per person per Sweet 16. And I didn't have that money to do it. So I would like just not go. And people would honestly get mad at me. And it's like, well, you know, and it's hard because we grew up going to a school where everyone had their own car. Everyone had a huge house with a pool, and everyone is like, I mean, it does have to do with the like a lot of Italians being there and just having a lot of money. But I didn't have that. And I actually think if I went to a different high school all throughout high school, I would have enjoyed my high school experience better than I did at STL. Because I feel like being around everyone who had money and could afford to go and buy lunch at the caf every single day. Like if I was doing that, it was on my own money. And that means like I couldn't go and buy myself this next week or go to a party the other week.
Yeah.
Like it was all like, you know, and being 16 and having to pay for everything, like you make decisions differently than someone who's getting money from their parents. And it's fine. I think it's made me into who I am today because like I wasn't going out as much and like I was saving my money more, and it's like I can save money now really well. Like I have
It taught you.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and like I can't speak to your experience then. I hate when Fran drinks from my straws. I think it's so disgusting. Anyways, I can't speak to your experience then because like my experience was different, but there was two things I want to say. I want to talk about the thing that you said about having a panic attack, but before that, I think like regardless of how you felt back then, I'm not sure if like you liked that you had that independence or maybe you didn't and you felt like you wanted what some other people had. But right now, I think that's what makes you who you are now. Like the fact that you said that you're not maturing any more than you are right now because you feel like you're there. It's because you have to go through things at such a young age. Whereas like for me, for example, I can only speak to my experience. Sometimes I feel like I'm obviously grateful for the way I grew up, but like things have happened later in my life where it's forced me to wake up kind of like really quickly rather than like in a long span. So I'm like, now I'm having to figure things out kind of like a little bit older and sometimes that's hard. And it's just so crazy how like everyone can be in such a like in proximity wise so close, but living like such different paths in lives like we keep saying. But yeah, the second thing I want to say was about the panic attack thing. I used to have panic attacks before we went out all the time, but I used to hide it.
You used to still go?
Yeah, oh my God, sorry, I'm so stuffed up for some reason. I'm hot, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I used to have panic attacks all the time before I went out, especially we used to go like raves and shit all the fucking time. And I used to get so panicky. I used to hide in the bathroom and be like, okay, like we're gonna go. And I used to force myself to go. And when I look back at my like 17-year-old self, I feel so bad for her. Cause I'm like, if you only knew that like social anxiety is a thing, like you were strong in being like, you know what, I'm not going, guys. Like I cannot go. I was like, I don't want to call myself weak. I just don't think I knew any better, especially because I was around people who were like gung-ho, let's go. And I was just like, we need to go. Like I need to suck it the fuck up. And like, I don't know. And like when I look back, it's just like crazy. And like, I feel like now today I am that like introverted extrovert. If I don't want to go somewhere, I'll like fully say I don't want to go somewhere. Obviously, like I'm 26 years old now. I'm going to be like, no, I'm not fucking going there. But yeah, like social anxiety was a thing back then. It's so weird how like you look back, you don't realize that that's what it was.
Well, it's also really about like self-care. Like I mean, self-care there's so many forms of self-care. Like, and I believe in all of it. Like I go get a facial once a month just so that I'm taking care of myself. But also like knowing like that you're going to put yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. Like, Fran, how often do we see each other? Like
recently a bit more often. But before like once every 3 months. Like,
yes.
Literally.
And she's still my best friend and we still talk every day. But that's because like I've had periods of time where my anxiety is just so bad and I just don't want to go out. Like I do take antidepressants for anxiety as well. And like that's been a long time that I've been on them. But like in high school, grade 10, I wasn't on those. I wasn't diagnosed yet with needing like anything to help with my anxiety. Yeah. So I was just kind of looking at it a viewpoint as like, okay, do I want to go out and have a shit time and then get back late and have to go work at 8 a.m. and then have to worry about soccer, hockey, and then go to school Monday. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I also lived with my grandparents and my mom and my siblings. And like, I was like, well, I have to ask my mom to pick me up at like 1 a.m. And there's just so many factors going into this, right? Like, but it is about self-care. Like, I just knew that I would feel better if I stayed home. And like,
it's really following about like what, it's self-care, following what you truly want, like in your gut. Like, the cool thing is to like go out and do all these things that everyone's doing, but like, do I genuinely want to do that? And like something about my growth is like following what like genuinely makes me feel good. And I feel like in the last couple years, like that's kind of what I've been trying to do. But at that point, like back then, I wasn't definitely not doing that. I was not there yet.
It's funny when you say we see each other like once in a while or whatever.
Yeah.
I've had people say like, you and Mel still friends? Like you don't post.
But see, all the time. See, do you know how many times you go somewhere and you tell me, everyone's asking me, like, are you and Mel still friends? I don't need to use social media to post. I don't think I have one picture with Fran in the past like 5 years, except for
I reuse the same fucking cottage picture that we took.
But doesn't that say more about our relationship being stronger because we don't feel the need to take pictures and be all over social media?
Yeah.
And
it's fine if you do.
No, it is fine. But
fine.
like, you know, if we're having such a good time that we don't feel the need to do that, isn't that okay?
Yeah.
Like
also
100%.
like, for example, like when I said people got offended, I never was one. I don't think me and you have ever gone to a fight. Honestly, I can't remember. Maybe I have, but like if it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Or can you remember one?
No, I can't talk about it.
Wait, why?
You
Okay,
say it
after.
after.
No,
Like, Chris doesn't have that
I don't
into
remember
us.
anything. Maybe it was my.
You just say it after.
Okay, anyways, I don't remember anything. But and if we do have an argument, me and Mel, or like anything bothers us, like we'll say it like to each other's faces.
Yeah.
But in grade 10, I feel like I was also, I didn't really care that like Mel couldn't really go out. And I didn't think of you as someone like less of a friend because like you went out less than I did kind of thing. Or like, but there was people who were like, she didn't come here or she wasn't here for you for there. Like, that's not a friend. I'm like, but I know like what you're going through. Like they didn't know what you were kind of going through.
God, I wasn't going through a lot. Like, you know how many people have single parents and don't get like a bank account from their parents to do shit. Like this is it really, like, I mean, maybe back then I thought that was a big deal and I was like so mad, like, or like I remember my 16th birthday party, everyone was throwing sweet 16s and I had a bunch of girls over for pizza and cake. I remember my mom brought home 2 medium-sized pizzas for a group of 10 girls. And I was so embarrassed. And I was like, oh my God, like, Mom, like, we need more pizza. Like, this is ridiculous. You didn't get a party pizza. Like, me not thinking like it had anything to do, not that I know that it did, but it had nothing to do with money. I was just so pissed that she did this. And like, thank God some of the girls there were like, oh, we're just going to order Pizza Nova. They paid for it. Or else I would have been like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's that pressure of when you're in high school too, though. Like people can be fucking mean. Like actually, like
so mean. Yeah.
Like it's just a pressure of just like, again, fitting in or like, where you come from says a lot. Like our area is like a very like, you know, cliquey and very like if you didn't fit into here, like bye, like go away kind of thing.
Sorry.
No, I'm done. I thought.
No, I kind of want to move on from this for a sec because high school is high school.
Yeah.
This wasn't in our outline, but if you feel comfortable talking about it, how do you feel like self-care as it relates to like your mental health has changed as you've gotten older? Like, I know that you said that, again, you don't have...
Yeah, no,
you feel free.
I'm good.
Feel comfortable talking about this. I know you said, like, you're diagnosed with anxiety, so you take antidepressants, right? So, that I don't know if that's a form of the way that you're kind of taking care of your mental health now, but, like, when I think about mental health as I get older, it's, like, it totally changes, changes. You know what I mean?
I think everyone has their own definition of mental health. Like, if you feel like... It's funny because I used to have such bad anxiety and my mom was like, buy yourself a coffee a day. Have one thing to look forward to a day that you know you're going to look forward to and that will help you feel better. And like, I feel like everyone has their own opinion of what self-care, of what like mental health is and like how you can help yourself. I mean, I take antidepressants and that's not supposed to be a long-term fix, but for right now it works for me, right? I mean, I definitely do think therapy is good. I think talking about how you feel is good. I've been to therapists and they definitely have helped in the past. But I also think like for example, working out, your body's creating so many endorphins. That's a way of mental health people do. Yeah. Me staying in on a Friday night and having to like be in the other room for my fiance, like maybe that's mental health. Like, I don't think that there's a one simple like page of mental health that you can follow. But I definitely will say that I do like shopping as a form of mental health. I do order things and then I get excited to go. Like, I mean, I actually don't order things to my house. I order them to my mom's house so that I can go pick them up there. And I get like so excited to go pick up a package there. And not that it's anything expensive. It's like Amazon, but like, you know, that I find a form of like self-care. And like, for example, Sunday I'm going to get a facial and like, It's like,
so it's introducing these things that you get excited for in life that kind of not like heals your anxiety, but kind of just like contributes to like looking more towards a positive rather than kind of getting stuck and sunk in that like depressive or like anxious state.
Yes. And I think like anxiety, like, I mean, for myself at least, like I get like such a tight chest, right? Mm-hmm. And I get insomnia and I like can't fall asleep for hours because I'm thinking about stuff. But mostly the tight chest, it feels like someone's literally like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like the worst feeling in the world. And it's like, sometimes I don't know what it is. Sometimes I know what it is and I can't stop it. Yeah. But like, I think it's finding ways to distract yourself or to cope with it. Like there's also exercises I do if it's really bad and I'm like, okay, I need to like breathe in for like 18 seconds and breathe out for 5. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways to handle that stuff, but I definitely have found that like distracting myself is a good way to take care of it. And also like battling things like head on, like what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
What's
really
the worst that could happen? Like really like not that bad. Something that's not that bad. Like the worst is like what? Like my boss is going to yell at me or this is going to happen. Like depending on what the anxiety causing thing is, like it's really not that bad. Like
at the end of the day,
exactly. But you don't know that in the moment. Like
no,
you're just
100%.
Like you're just thinking, oh my God, like this is killing me and like whatever. But I actually find that most of the time my anxiety is like nothing. Like I don't have anything on my mind. I actually just find like it's a bodily response. Mm-hmm. And I think that is like a long-term fix that I would have to work on. Like I think my like nervous system is just like screwed. So, you know.
I don't think have I ever told this story? I don't know. But so when I was like maybe in grade 8 or something, I randomly, it wasn't random. So like somebody that went to our elementary school that I was friends with passed away when I was in grade 8. She was like my friend. Yeah. Like during the summer. And after that, I remember we went to, like, my family used to rent a cottage every summer in Wasaga. Mm-hmm. And we were at the cottage. I don't know if Fran remembers this or maybe if it's too young in your memory, but we went to this cottage and I remember lying on the couch and all of a sudden I started, like, convulsing. Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, what the hell is wrong with her? And I had, do you remember this? A full-blown panic attack, but physically. Like, it looked like I was having a seizure physically. And I was just like convulsing. I stayed in the whole time. I didn't move, nothing. My family thought I was like sick. They're like, there's something wrong with her. Yeah. And I remember for a whole summer, I got debilitating anxiety. Like, really? I don't even know how to explain it, but like it was just, my face would turn white, my tongue would go blue. Mm-hmm. Like it was just so fucking bad. And my parents were, I don't think they knew what was going on. They didn't know how to deal.
Even back then, like anxiety wasn't a thing.
Exactly.
Like, my stepdad's so funny. He's like, anxiety doesn't exist.
Yeah, he's like,
what are
breathe,
you anxious
you're fine.
about?
Yeah.
Like,
and I remember like just, it was like such a blur this whole summer and I had to go to so many doctors and they're like, there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah. And I went to a psychiatrist who just was weird. It did not fucking help. And I can't help but think that like, right when, I don't know if you remember when you had your first panic attack or anxiety attack, but like so many things happened between then and like where you are now. And I don't know why I'm even saying this, but I just wanted to say that like if you're struggling with anxiety or anyone listening to this struggling with anxiety, I feel like it's like such a journey of like up and down. Yes. And related to what you said, that you said the antidepressants you're taking, they're working for right now. Maybe you won't need them or want them.
And also like not to say that everyone needs to take antidepressants.
No, but it's fine if you do, you know?
But like that doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for everyone or that you should take them. But I'm just saying like, for now, they're working. Yeah. But, like, you know, it's not a long-term fix. You're not supposed to be on them for your whole life. Yeah. Right?
I don't know. It just, like, makes me think, because I was thinking about this today, too, knowing we had the podcast today, that, like, the last 2 days, I've had such bad anxiety. Less today, but I don't know. Like, the last 2 days, it was, like you said, that sunken feeling in my chest that I was almost getting the physical panic attack. Yes. And I don't know why. My brain just, like, went to that time, like, when I was in, like, grade 8 or grade 9. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm feeling like this feeling again, like this can't come up. And it's almost like you're getting anxiety about getting anxiety.
Exactly. Yes.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, no, I don't want this to happen. My whole night's ruined. I have so many things to do. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know. I was like, I just want to say this because I feel like people with anxiety kind of know what I mean. Like, it's just such an up and down thing. And it's just
I don't even think that everyone would know that that's what anxiety is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Very
like,
true.
People could be listening to this and be like, oh, that's what anxiety is? Oh, I have anxiety? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's no definition of it. Yeah. Like, it's just like a
feels
word.
A different way.
Exactly. Right.
Anxiety.
Anyways, I just want to point that out.
We're hitting time. That went by so fast.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't even think
we didn't even hit all the topics.
I know, wait, let me just see what we wrote down. This is what happens all the time.
I did say the second point might get missed. Maybe we have to circle back to it, but we basically talked about everything.
Is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
Mention or
no,
say?
like
you feel like
is
is important?
honestly no, but this was so much fun. Like just talking to people and having a conversation
Isn't it like a therapy
this.
session?
It does feel like a therapy session. Like
I feel lighter after.
I do, and I feel like things that you wouldn't have in a normal conversation come up, and like you get to express your opinion about it without getting like hate or anything. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like just talking. Like, Fran, you and I don't necessarily have conversations about these specific.
I was
things.
gonna say I've never sat down and be like, hey, like. Let's talk about that one time of great times.
Yeah, exactly. No, but this has been like so much fun and like honestly like very therapeutic.
Well, feel free to come back anytime. And actually, yes, I was going to say we got disgusting.
We got shot on.
You're disgusting if you're watching this. Sorry, I don't care. That was so gross. There's people who, and like, you know what? It comes with the
Actually,
Can
sorry.
I speak?
No, because Mel came from a single parent household.
Okay,
so
yes,
really
we're going to bring this up. We're going to bring this
Okay.
up. And I don't want to shed light to these comments, which also I don't care because, like, thank you for the engagement. But what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the comment. So basically, I'm not even going to read this comment like verbatim, but like it was just so stupid.
It was.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
I did.
So basically this person, so we were talking about relationships on the last podcast, right? And we were just like, I was just talking about like, oh, do you need to go through a toxic phase in a relationship to like end up on top or end up better? It was just a fucking thought-provoking question, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not claiming to be a relationship expert. I don't have a degree in psychology, okay? Nor do you need one to talk about relationships,
And also,
okay?
toxic doesn't necessarily mean someone's
Abuse.
beating the shit
Yeah.
out of you.
I clarified that in the episode, so if you wanted to watch the episode
Girl,
after the clip.
so this woman goes, she's like, why are these paper bag for brains giving advice? First of all, that's funny as fuck. Second of all,
Then she goes, Lord, this is why you need to be raised in a 2-parent household.
First of all, I was raised in a 2-parent household.
No,
so
only
is
that.
she. Second of all, not being raised in a 2-parent household doesn't make you any less educated or less competent to talk on certain topics. So that made zero sense at all.
Yeah,
I'm getting heated.
If
Piss
you're
me
gonna have
off.
a problem with someone and don't want them to talk about something because of a situation they're in, then no one can fucking talk.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Let's be real.
And like, it's not that I care about.
I was gonna say that we don't like.
Yeah,
honestly,
we
don't
welcome
care.
like opinions and rebut. We love to rebuttal people and like debate. Like I had a little debate on someone on YouTube, and like I liked it. It was a healthy conversation and a thought provoking conversation.
And
I don't like to conversate people who actually have paper bag. Like I don't like that. Like what are you getting at?
What I was gonna say is like the guy that you were talking with on YouTube, he didn't agree with what we were saying, and that's completely fine. Like that's what a podcast is, I think, and like we want this to be a platform where like we discuss things because what we're talking about, it comes from a certain perspective. Like we're not talking about something like. If I'm talking about a relationship, it's coming from like my background in relationships.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same from you.
No.
So we're going to have differing opinions, and that's totally fine. We welcome those debates. But I don't know, the fact that there's people in this world, and it was a woman. I don't know why it pissed me off more.
It was
a woman
yeah.
that claims that she's like a good mother. I'm sorry, but like you're criticizing the way our parents raised us, but you're going on the internet and calling other 2 girls who are just expressing their opinions paper bags for brains.
But also people who just go comment shit on other people's platforms. Like, what's wrong with you?
Well, it's fine.
Like,
It's just like
if you have a different opinion, it's fine. But like
on my shoulders.
Sorry, I'm not like sick. I'm just
to be calling someone paper bags. Like, what's your problem? Like, you must have an issue.
And
like,
this is what I want to talk to you more about.
fun. I like talking shit about people.
This is what I want to talk to you more about. We have no time anymore. But like we were saying, only like a lot of the times, only female podcasters get that, or like female podcasts get comments where it's like, "Where are your fathers?" or "You sluts." Like, why are you talking about this? Like. Anyways, like there was I got a comment on YouTube, and I was talking about how this is what I was talking about, how resentment can kill a relationship, and this guy goes. Anybody taking advice from somebody like that, run. Like, this is why we need modern women nowadays.
what does that mean?
We need traditional women nowadays. Men, marry traditional. What the hell is traditional? I can't even speak. What is traditional
joking
to you?
on the words.
okay, do you want to make all the money and I do absolutely nothing? I'll be
you.
traditional
You can do
for
that.
you.
Yeah, I'll sit down. I wash the dishes while you go make bank, and then I'll come and spend it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
there you go.
we're gonna end that. But thanks, Mel, for coming on.
Thank you so
thanks,
much.
Mel.
I had a great time.
We hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.